Tacos have successfully made their way into American cuisine, but the beginnings of this staple are relatively unknown. There are many different varieties of tacos, but where did they come from? Welcome to A Bit About Bites, a podcast dedicated to the culinary history of some of the most popular snacks and foods we know and love today. I'm Noah Garcia, and today we'll be discussing tacos, their history, and where they are today. As a native Texan, tacos are very near and dear to my heart. Most Texans love tacos, both the modernized American-style crunchy tacos, as well as the more traditional types. There are tons of different varieties of tacos, from al pastor, carnitas, barbacoa, carne asada, chicken, chile, nopal with cheese, avocado, breakfast, fish, grasshoppers, plus others. The variety is truly astounding, and new versions are being invented every day. Tacos have been around for many, many years and have had ample time to adapt and evolve into the deliciousness that they are today. The Taco Bell style taco is intensely Americanized, but it still has a foundation that the earliest tacos had: corn. To the Mesoamericans, maize, or corn, was golden. The Toltec, Aztec, and Mayan civilizations cultivated, farmed, and bred corn to be larger and more fruitful. In a way, we can actually say that the corn tortilla is older than Mexico. The Aztecs invented the corn tortilla, and they did so with nixtamalized corn. Nixtamalization is a process for preparing maize. The word comes from the Aztec language Nahuatl. The word nixtamalization is a compound word of nextli, which means ashes, and tamale, which means unformed corn dough. The corn is soaked and cooked in an alkaline solution. The alkaline solution is typically lime water, which is made with calcium hydroxide, but it can sometimes be potash, which are various different salts that contain water-soluble potassium. After these corn kernels are cooked and soaked, they are washed and then hulled. This removes toxins that can develop in the corn due to certain molds in soil, decaying vegetation, hay, and grains. Nixtamalized maize is also more easily ground, it becomes more nutritious, and the flavor and aroma are improved. In addition, the alkaline of the lime and/or ash helps to break down some of the maize cell. Basically, this allows the nixtamalized maize to form a dough called masa. Without this process, we could not enjoy tortillas, tortilla chips, tamales, hominy, and many other items. The earliest evidence of nixtamalization was found in Guatemala's southern coast, with ancient equipment dating back to 1200 to 1500 BCE. It is said that the second emperor and fifth king of Tenochtitlan, Montezuma, used the tortillas that were made with the masa as an edible utensil like a spoon. These early tortillas were cooked on hot stones and topped with various toppings such as beans, chili, and vegetables, as well as other local ingredients. These tortillas, topped with these other ingredients, could be considered the earliest tacos. The word taco comes from the Aztec language, and the word was tlaco. Tlaco means middle, and the tortillas had toppings in the middle of them. Over time, these tortillas with toppings slowly became called tlacos themselves. When Hernan Cortés arrived from Spain, he discovered the tlacos of the Aztecs. With the pigs he had brought along, Cortés and his captains enjoyed the first tacos feast by Europeans in Coyoacán, which was an Aztec village at the time. They cooked the pigs that they had brought along, and they enjoyed this cooked pork on the Aztec tortillas. The tacos of that time are most comparable to what we would call street tacos or soft tacos. Corn tortillas have certainly been around for many centuries at the very least. However, this is not the only possible theory on where tacos themselves could have originated. Jeffrey M. Pilcher, a professor of history at the University of Minnesota, believes that tacos date back only to the 18th century and the silver mines of Mexico. His theory is that the word taco refers to the gunpowder wrapped in paper and used to mine for silver, almost like how a taquito is a corn tortilla wrapped around filling and fried, but some people disagree with this theory. A 1905 newspaper mentions tacos in the US for the first time. Mexican migrants began coming into America in waves, working in the mines, railroads, etc. As with most cultures, they brought their cuisine along with them, specifically to San Antonio and Los Angeles. They began selling tamales and tacos as street food, and for a while, tacos were considered to be lower class food. But eventually, these street food vendors became more popular, as did the tacos they were selling. The children of these Mexican migrants and street food vendors were still eating Mexican food as it was a part of their culture, although they were still in America. They began to claim American citizenship, and many of the next generations fought in World War II. Tacos were one of the main foods of their childhoods. But in America, not all of the ingredients that they had in Mexico were available. The tacos were adapted to what ingredients were available, such as ground beef, cheddar cheese, iceberg lettuce, tomatoes, sour cream, and others. These ingredients are most certainly what influenced Taco Bell's style of tacos, for example. At the same time, tacos in Mexico were continuing to evolve. Lebanese migrants were beginning to influence Mexican cuisine with the introduction of shawarma or gyros. These are vertical rotisserie spits where they rotate and cook lamb, slicing off bits into pita bread. Over time, these migrants began putting their gyro meat into tortillas, which were called taco arabes or Arab tacos. The next generation of the Lebanese migrants changed the recipe slightly, adding in a few different spices and using pork rather than lamb. Add in a little bit of pineapple and onion, and boom, you have tacos al pastor. These styles of tacos remained relatively unknown in Mexico until the 1960s, and then finally became very popular throughout the country. Let's discuss the Americanization of tacos with one of the largest taco franchises in the world, Taco Bell. Glenn Bell, the founder of the franchise, claimed to have invented the crunchy taco shell. In his autobiography, he says to have invented the taco shell back in the 1950s as his own personal so-called technological breakthrough. However, there is evidence that Bell stole the idea from his Mexican neighbors in California. U.S. patents for taco shells date back to 1940s to Mexican restaurateurs, not Mr. Bell. The issue with keeping corn tortillas is that they will never be as good as they were when they were fresh, sort of like a donut. But if you fry them in a U-shape, not only are they ready to be filled, but they will keep much easier and longer. Regardless of the fact, Jeffrey Pilcher believes that Taco Bell became popular due to segregation in California. At the time, taco shops were only called taco shops to attract the attention of non-Mexican customers. His theory is that during the 1950s, Glenn Bell created Taco Bell in order to allow Americans to taste Mexican food without having to go into a Mexican neighborhood. Bell opened his first Taco Bell in 1964, and after a decade of success, sold his company to PepsiCo. In any case, the fried, crunchy taco shell allowed for Mexican food to be taken outside of communities in an easier, long-lasting way, and served to different ethnic groups. And crunchy tacos are certainly very popular. In our modern times of today, Americans want to experience more authentic culinary experiences. Over the past few decades, authentic Mexican cuisine has become very popular, and especially in Texas, cuisines have mingled to form Tex-Mex, which is popular throughout the entire state. As we continue to love and devour tacos throughout America and the world, restaurants will continue to offer and improve upon their recipes. Tacos have truly become an American staple, but they are one of the most important culinary meals in Mexico and have been for centuries. There are hundreds of varieties of tacos, each with their delicious ingredients and specialties. The next time you go out to eat a taco, think of the rich history tacos have had throughout Mexican and American centuries, and think of the Aztecs and the immigrants. That's tacos. If you enjoyed this episode, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at A Bit About Bites. The music in this episode was from Pixabay and Income Tech. Once again, I'm Noah Garcia, and that was the history of tacos. Thanks for listening.